Bob's butthole is moist. This song is so potent. There won't be a dry seed in the house after this shit. Let's go! Oh, fuck yeah! I got a real wet mouth. One late night on Osage, it was so hard to resist the temptation from the feelings they've both shared. The feelings that they've danced around for years. But tonight, there's no fight, no, there's no pushback at all. Just two men sharing a moment after crushing a 30-pack of beers, and Bob conquering his fears. As Bob sneaks upstairs to the bedrooms, Bryce says, "Bob, I can feel you, I can feel you standing there." His voice low, his words a challenge, with an undertone of vulnerability to prevent any irreparable damage. Bryce asks, "Well, since no one's home, what the fuck are you waiting for?" Bob says softly, "I'm not sure anymore. I think I've been waiting for you to make the first move." Bryce's lips curl into a faint smile. His lust for Bob maintains. His eyes lock onto Bob with a hunger barely contained. Bryce takes a step closer and Bob can feel his presence. He gently whispers, "And if I do, what are you gonna do?" The air between them richer thickens. Bob swallows nervously as his pulse quickens. He says, "I won't stop you, just do to me whatever you wanna do." Their fingers brush, barely a touch, but it's enough to send a shiver down Bob's spine. Bryce wraps around him and says, "Tonight you're mine." Bryce's hands slide down the small of Bob's back. The small of Bob's back. His fingers dance as they advance into Bob's butt crack. Butt crack. Before Bob can say this is a mistake, Bryce presses his finger into Bob's hole. That sends him into a state of Bryce Tennessee. Of Bryce Tennessee. Of Bryce Tennessee. Of Bryce Tennessee. Bryce whispers, "I've been lingering for a fingering. I've wanted this for so fucking long. Please don't make me wait any longer. Look at me, Bob, I can't get any harder." In an instant, everything shifts, no more hesitation, no more second guessing, not in a rush, but a slow, deliberate collision. They kiss and it's everything, filled with all the longing they've kept buried for so long. They finally find what they've been craving all along. Butt sack! Butt sack! Bob told his wife he will be home soon. Bryce wants me to stop for a beer or two. He never thought his night would end this way, or this gay, with the next pill up his ass, then getting blasted by a man who was Bob's former roommate. Now it's flaming turbo lover, and them both having excessive and aggressive. Butt sack, bitch tits. Butt sack, bitch tits. Butt sack, bitch tits. Butt sack, bitch tits. Butt sack. God damn you! The bottles are empty, the room starts to spin. The night winding down, it's just him and him. Bryce starts questioning and Bob's guard is slipping. He begs his God to do something and save him, but his God is laughing. Bob's tired of fighting, but he knows it's true. He screams that he isn't, but Bryce ain't fooled. In the blur of the night that refuses to end, Bob surrenders to Bryce and then the stretching begins. The crying turns to screams between them, the room full of pain. They cut deep through the haze. A touch on his shoulder, the warmth, the blood, the fucking frothy Santorum embrace. All the fears, all the years, all the walls throughout his life that he thought he built melt in a moment of thrills and anal ecstasy pills. Bob's tired of fighting, he knows that it's true. He screams that he isn't, but Bryce ain't fooled. In the blur of the night that refuses to end, Bob surrenders to Bryce, stretching again and again and again. No words left for two men in the dark. Two men who met late at night in Cal Anderson Park. When morning breaks, the silence will mend. But tonight, Bob surrenders and lets himself bend. And Bryce became more than just a friend. After coming inside Bob again and 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 again. Bob turns his head around and looks deep in Bryce's eyes and says, "Come on, you sissy, I can fit more of ya." And then Bryce wipes the sweat from his face, goes ass to mouth and gets a quick taste, and pillages Bob's tight little village. Fuck yeah! Butt sex! Motherfucking butt sex! Butt sex! Motherfucking butt sex! Butt sex! Motherfucking butt sex! Woo! Goddamn you! Bob told his wife he will be home soon. He screams that he isn't, but Bryce isn't fooled. Bitch text. Butt sex. Fuck yeah, Bob. Butt sex. Fuck yeah, Bob. Butt sex. Woo, goddamn you. The bottles are empty, the room starts to spin. The night winding down. It's just him and him.